G'day, it's Jay, and welcome back to Derriere Farms, where today we are going to take a look at the points of interest in Silverrun Forest, which was the last blog post released by Giants. I was going to post it today being Remembrance Day, and no, Remembrance Day deserves more respect than a video about Farming Simulator, and I will be busy at various ceremonies. Being a veteran, I am not staying home on Remembrance Day. Veterans Day, I believe, is what you call it in the States. And for those of you, that have probably already figured out, certain YouTubers have already got early access to Silverrun Forest. I'm not a Giants partner, so I don't have early access yet. And that hopefully, if you subscribe, gets me one step closer to being a Giants partner so that I can do early access videos like everybody else when new stuff comes out in Season 2. And Giants kind of confirmed, well, Kermit kind of confirmed that Seasons Pass, well, the Year 1 Seasons Pass was called the Year 1 for a reason. In the meantime, all we can do is sit back and wait and see what they have announced or will be announcing for Season 2. Anyway, like I said, let's take a look at Giant's latest blog post. I was going to put it into a nice video format, but unfortunately, a lot of the pictures, and this has been happening a lot recently, the Giants have been embedding in their blog posts don't translate very well on download. The animation is lost, and thus some of the beauty is lost. So I'm just going to, and you could have done this yourself, I know, but I'm just going to go over what is presented in the blog post, and we're going to talk about it, because some of the points of interest, I think, are kind of important. So, as you can see in the first picture, Silverrun Forest is absolutely beautiful in the fall. And Giants did go on to say that seasons or seasonal representation has been changed. They did this on the live stream, the Twitch live stream, or they spoke about this, and they said that you will actually get leaves, for example, blowing around town. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. They also, in the live stream, talked about how they created the new streams, and I think the new streams look really, really good. Most of the live stream was dedicated to the technical side, and I guess more for modders so that they understand what's going on and will have a better understanding of how to create maps with spectacular waterfalls like this. As you can see from this next screenshot, the visuals are definitely much better. The reds are brighter. There is more variety. There's some oranges and some reds now. Before, everything was just kind of an orange color, but they have really put some time and effort into making fall look like fall. And this is the part they were most pleased about, and I am too. I think this looks absolutely spectacular. We've seen modders like Bullet Bill put puddles on maps before. But in Silverrun Forest, and this will, according to Kermit, carry over to other maps, when it starts to rain, puddles will start to form on those maps now. And as you can see, the ripple effect of the raindrops, it makes it look so much better, so much more realistic than just a blank puddle. They didn't talk about anything with snow. Like I said, they talked about in the autumn or the fall, leaves will blow around the map. When it rains, you'll get puddles forming. But they didn't really mention anything about snow. And I think snow is something that is really missing. Something they introduced that they could have done so much more with. I would love to see snow removal contracts, but we haven't got there yet, and maybe we will, maybe we won't. Only time will tell. All right, so let's take a look. Now that we've had a quick overview of the visuals of the map, let's take a quick look at the points of interest on Silver Run Forest. I would download this and I would keep this as a reference. If you have two monitors, I plan to have this on my second monitor when I'm playing the game, just so I have easy access and know where everything is on the map. So it shows us where the farmhouse is, where the shop, train rental, gas station, train to Elm Creek, and the museum's located. Museum is something worth talking about. There's the roller coaster and the boatyard down here. The container warehouse up here. These are all selling points. Now, debris crusher, nothing new there. Waffle Hut North. I really wish they'd put waffles in the game, but I'm sure a modder is going to do that, and I'm going to try and do that myself. There's a rural farm up here. I haven't really seen anything about that yet. Most of the farmland that we have seen down here is what you see is what you get. But again, Kermit did talk about the fact that if you clear around this area, being a farmland, you grind the stumps, you sell the trees, and you can turn that into farmland. And watching the video, I did get a better understanding of why they changed the numbering system. And I'm going to go over that in a separate video. Rural Farm South Hotel, Waffle Hut South, the sawmill. There are two sawmills on the map. There is the main sawmill on the south side. This one is the one that is permanently there. It's a production point, but nobody can own it. The other sawmill, up where the lake is, and we'll go into that in a minute, is a purchasable production point. And something else Kermit talked about was the fact that a lot of these production points are going to be treated just like regular production points, so you will be able to carry them over to a different map, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to, because I was hoping there was going to be a little bit more room for agriculture on this map, but I'm still definitely looking forward to doing the forestry. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. There's a fire department, the Sunnyside Cafe, and vintage clothes, so you'll be able to sell to all of those places. Now, production site, the old sawmill, like I said, is up here. The mine shaft is over here. And the mine shaft is something that's interesting. Again, we'll get into that in a bit. The paper factory, most of the other production points are down here. So as you can see, it's a little bit like Erlingrat in terms of a little bit of farmland, but the rest of the map is dedicated to forestry. And now I know there are a few people that are a little, well, there's more than a few people. Some people are really excited by forestry. Some people, from the comments I've been reading, were like I was, hoping that there would be a little bit more opportunity to do agriculture, especially as one of the production points is going to require wool or cotton, and of course that's going to require, well, we'll go with wool. That's going to require sheep. Sheep require grass or hay, and there needs to be room to place the spinnery, because there is no spinnery placed on this map yet. All right, we were talking about the iron ore mine. Now, this is a production point, but it's not, again, a purchasable production point. It's a permanent production point, kind of like the sawmill to the south. I think it looks fantastic, and it continuously produces iron, so there's nothing you have to do except come and pick up the iron ore and then take it to the smelter. Now, one thing nobody's really talked about, and I did notice watching the Twitch stream, was the smelter's not on the map. It is purchasable, but it's not already placed. So you are going to have to buy the smelter. Kind of like some of the production points on Elm Creek weren't on the map. You had to find somewhere to put them. So, it'll be interesting to see where some good places are for the metal factory. And hopefully it won't be too far from where the ore mine is. Everything I've seen so far, this is the pet, natural pet production facility, inputs wool and wood, and you can, again, we talked a bit about this in the productions video. Nope, the cat house is purely decorative. We are not getting cats, unfortunately, nor will you be able to use the dog houses for the dog in game. Alright, this is the sawmill of interest. I can't remember which map it was in, I think, Farming Simulator 15, where you had to put your lumber into the lake and it got pulled into the sawmill. Well, they brought that back, and I loved it. Hopefully the animations are the same, but you put wood in and you get various products out, same as you do at the other sawmill. But this one is purchasable, and that means we will be able to put it on other maps. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it looks far better than some of the other sawmills. Question is, a little bit of landscaping. I think you should have no problems with a few mods being able to create a production point or an area to place this. This one I was a little bit disappointed in. The selling points, they talk about some of the selling points, but the Silver Market, it's basically the farmer's market from the base game, only it's being adapted to take pretty much everything. Or everything that is part of Farming Simulator 22. It won't necessarily take third-party productions like Omatana's production facilities, stuff like that. You can't automatically feed into this. I was hoping they were going to decorate it a little bit differently, but it still looks good. And as you can see, they're dumping grain into it. Alright. Last but not, well, we're almost at the end. Waffle Hut, as you can see, takes all sorts of things. Please, somebody, or I will try, I don't know, I've been tinkering with modding recently. I would have loved this to have been a production point instead of just a sell point, where it actually makes waffles. Because, just like Donkey, I'm having waffles for breakfast. But it looks really good, and I think I can find a place for it, because I'm still not done with my Elm Creek map. Debris Crusher, we've seen that in action before. We also saw the rock breaking video, and I'm just trying to think how much money whether it's worth collecting the rocks and actually bringing them to the Debris Crusher. You don't get a ton of money from it, so I'm kind of not, I don't know why this is a feature. Now, this one has got me kind of curious. This is the container storage warehouse, and it looks like you bring your loaded containers. And now I'm very curious to see how you are going to load containers, but it looks like you bring your loaded containers here and you sell the wood at the warehouse. Whether we will be able to put other products in the containers, I'm not sure. I'm sure with a few modifications, somebody will make it so that container storage is universal. In fact, I can see 82 Studios or somebody like that doing that. And that would be kind of neat to be able to put the container on the back of a truck, take it, sell it, and away you go. All right, as we come to the end, they talk also a little bit about collectibles. The collectibles look like they're worth quite a bit of money, and they are displayed in the museum. And I think this is much nicer than the toy shop. And as you can see, I think these collectibles look really, really good. I hope we can actually go and we can tour the museum, especially when it's full and it's got all the collectibles in. Collectibles are going to be found all over the map, and I forget, there are 20 wooden figurines. So 20, was that the same as Au Laurent where we had 20 game cartridges? I think so. So you'll get about the same amount of money as you did on Au Laurent, and that will definitely help you get your forestry business up and running. So like I said, the only disappointment I really have is there's not as much agricultural land as I hoped there was going to be, because while I'm excited to try forestry, I am still very much a farming simulator player who likes to play farming simulator for the farming. I called the channel Derriere Farms for a reason. I didn't call it forestry or something else, because forestry to me is something that's secondary. I do know a couple of farmers that do a little bit of forestry, mainly contract work as they clear construction sites and work with other farmers to help expand or clear their fields. So, like I said, my background is farming, and I was really hoping that the farming side would be a little bit more balanced. But I am still very much excited by this map, and I can't wait to give it a try on Tuesday. So, like I said, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and as soon as we get a chance on Tuesday, I will be taking a look in more depth at this map. Take care. Thanks for watching. Jay.